probably close to 15,000 now of our fellow soldiers die from the anthrax shots and depleted uranium. And many of our soldiers are coming home sick right now with depleted uranium poisoning, passing that off to their families and their children and all. And I just want to tell you, brothers and sisters listening and recording all the things we're doing today, is this world system that you're helping set up through tyranny and treason and going against your oath of office that you took to defend the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And when you go against that, you are killing your children and your posterity, because the system that's being set up worldwide is the super rich and the super poor. There's no middle class in this world system being set up. And you officers that are listening today, FBI, NSA, all you guys recording this and videoing it, I want you to know you're not going to be part of the super rich. You're going to be part of the super poor, and you better know it. You better understand that. So join us, folks. Do your education. You soldiers and you police officers that are listening today. I tell you what, I was in the Vietnam War, an Vietnam-era vet, and I saw some of my buddies killed. But I had a top secret clearance working back in the jungles at secret intel bases and communication bases. So I didn't get into Vietnam itself, praise God. I'm glad I didn't today. But I had a lot of buddies over there that died. And I was lied to then as the president, and the government told me at 17 years of age that I had to go kill little Oriental people to save America. Well, it was as much a lie then as we have to go kill Arabs to save America today. Just the same lie. But praise God, I put 12, 14 hours a day in talking, writing, emailing, snail mail to our police and soldiers, 12, 14 hours a day in my retirement as a volunteer, and this is my 28th year. And I want to tell you, there's a lot of police officers and soldiers that know what's happening. They know about the 9/11
inside job
attack on America. They know about it.
Woo! Yeah! Reveal the truth.
And more all the time. Praise God. So I want to say to you folks is we publish a publication called Aid and Abet Police Military Newsletter to educate our brothers and sisters in the military and law enforcement, and we need your help. I've got 3 of them here in my hand now, and some of the things we give them, our police and soldiers, is the truth here. For example, in this newsletter, 3 world wars planned a century ago. World War I, World War II, World War III, the one we're going into right now, was planned, and it was reported 1896 by a guy named Albert Pike, head of the Masonic Lodge. 1896, he described exactly to the World Communist Zionist Congress in Europe. He went and spoke there, and we have his actual speech that we put in here in 1896, and you know World War I wasn't even done yet. But he described exactly the countries that would be involved, the outcome, how the communists would grow and take over most of Europe, and then he explained World War II to them in 1896, and the same countries were involved as he said about it, all planned ahead of time. And now he describes World War III here, which he says that Christianity, the Arabs, the Muslims, and political Zionism would be involved in World War III. And he maps it out exactly what's happening. But here's the basis I want to talk to you about. Bush is a skull and bones Satanist.
Yeah.
George W. Bush, okay? And Albert Pike was a Satanist too, and here's what he says. At the end of World War III, that he describes exactly what's going to happen to our world now. He says here, he says, At the end, he says, this is the reactionary movement which will follow the destruction of Christianity and the Muslims, and also destroy Zionism. He says all three will be destroyed in this, and then he says that the true light through universal manifestation of pure doctrine of Lucifer will finally be brought into public view. Now see, he described in 1896 the three world wars exactly as they would be fought by those nations, the outcomes of those nations, and now he describes World War III. Now, this is the kind of information we send out to our police and soldiers so they know they're part of a fraud, and they're part of a world system that has nothing to do with fighting terrorism. The terrorists are right back here in Washington, D.C. High levels of government. That's right. And so we teach them, and we educate them, and we put the proof in here. So, folks, we need your help to order some of these. Every two people we run into for 28 years, out of two people, one has somebody in law enforcement, or a friend in law enforcement, or a military person in their family. So we really want you to get this. We work as volunteers. None of us get paid for 28 years. But we need you to get copies of this and get it out in the hands to our brothers and sisters in uniform, because the day is coming when we're going to be under martial law in this country. Communist Chertoff, head of the Homeland Insecurity, has already got that set up. He hired two other communists, Fox, who was head of the KGB in Russia, and the head of the communist Stasi is right under Communist Chertoff in Homeland Security. Three top communists are putting together our martial law, military rule of America. They're putting together the concentration camp. We've heard from military intel that they plan on putting 50 million Americans in those concentration camps. And believe me, a lot of us here, they're looking at to put you in those camps. So I want you to know that it is so vital that we reach and educate and get our police and soldiers back on the American people's side, like we're doing right now. More are listening now than ever before, because they can see the treason and the tyranny like never before in this country. They can see it in their own departments. They see that the most evil, the most criminal of police officers are being promoted up to the top of their departments. They see that. I saw that back in 20 years ago when I was with the Phoenix Police Department. I saw the most evil, even murderers, police officers that were murderers, promoted up to captain, to major, to chief. We had Chief Ruben Ortega in Phoenix, Arizona, that was a murderer. And we know he was a murderer. We know all about who he murdered and got away with it. He was our police chief. So today, the top level of our government is run by the most criminal, most evil people on the face of the earth. And our police and soldiers are beginning to wake up to this. Thank God. Yeah. So I would ask you to please get a hold of us at Aid and Abet Police Military Newsletter. Get a few copies of this and hand it out, and make copies if you want to. We work for free. You can make copies, 100 copies if you want to of it. But get it out as fast as you can, because we have a true awakening. I have 250 to 300 email a day coming in from police and soldiers like never before. And so I'm just so pleased that our brothers and sisters now are beginning to wake up and realize that their kids are going to live in slavery if they don't join you and taking back this country. So it's just wonderful. Also, don't forget to pray. I'm a Christian man, and I know some of you maybe are not Christian, but I want to tell you, please pray every day. One thing I want to ask you to pray for is pray for Congressman Ron Paul. If it's God's wish, he will become our president. And if it is God's wish, he will be our president. No question about it. And pray for his protection. Pray. I've already heard through intel that they're trying to set up his